conditions, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shawty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shawty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And they'll go on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He's got it with the 15. And he's going to get this down inside of Green Bay's 15-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. Gets past one man. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back.
No. Check. Patriot.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Weeks. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Weeks. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Devontae Parker, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Boston Scott, his first carry. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Green 19.
Now a play fake. Rodgers into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Josh Jones in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. 3-19.
Off the play fake. Weeks. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Next one. 3-19.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it. Could not hold on through the end of the play. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Escapes the defender. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brady. Give him 30 yards there. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Rodgers now to throw. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided.
Touchdown, Packers! Will Fuller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
To throw on 2nd down. Weeks. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
We are going. Blue 58.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Here we go. 58.
On 2nd down now, Scott. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Rodgers going to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And out now come the Seahawks. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
No. Jack, Patriot.
From the gun, Weeks. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes up. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. On play action, Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Off play action, Weeks. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Kenny Clark in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Off the play fake, Weeks. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit him, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to go up top again. And got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On play action, it's Rodgers. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
On 2nd down, Scott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will take the lead at 13-10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Room here to run. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another first down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Oh, this is blocked. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He'll buy some time right. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with the catch.
Rodgers now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
He finds his target, Fuller. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
We are going.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he is out of bounds here. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Rodgers to throw once more. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Now, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Jamal Agnew now to return. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing is Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, now Rodgers being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing on first down. Weeks. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Weeks. He lets it fly for Lockett. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. To throw again. Weeks. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing. Wait, it's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Off play action. Weeks. They'll roll him out right. Going for it all. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Weeks. Flushed out right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
3-19.
Operating from the gun. Weeks under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Kenny Clark in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, Everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jayon Brown coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Rodgers. And the pressure gets to him again. Mike Daniels in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. A bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Pass incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Going to throw again. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Forced out to his left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
So where would they be without his leg? Well, they'd be losing, that's for sure. Now 4 field goals, and as mentioned, this last one ties the game.
Yeah, but you know that kickers get a lot of grief, right? A lot of jokes about kickers, how easy it is for them. It's really nice to see these guys coming through in the clutch.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard.
Off the play fake. Weeks. Dancing to his left. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Back to throw. Weeks. And it's caught by Parker. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Off play action. Weeks. And he fends him off. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
No, Jack, Patriot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Weeks. Trying to lay one up deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they miss that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Off play action. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Rodgers off the play fake. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. So they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the 1st before he's brought down. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Brady. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Packers on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they'd struggled throughout this one.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Rodgers. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Mike Daniels in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Weeks. It's caught. Lockett. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Gone! Over! All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Operating from the gun. Weeks. It's brought in by Jackson. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, Weeks. It's complete to Lockett. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Weeks. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. To throw on 2nd down. Weeks. He's going to air one out. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on. Jump out! No.
Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he is going to lose yardage here. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. That one looks like he'll throw here. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They'll wind up getting 10 back there, as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Weeks. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this is recovered in the end zone by the defense. My goodness, what a late turn of events here. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Packers get set to go. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good